Writing episode number 2 for the brand new book. Let's get into it. The spicy Viking book, I will add. Hi, I'm Jenna. If you don't know me, I write science fiction fantasy novels and I help you put the magic back into writing. And man, writing this new book has been partially magic, partially terrible. I will get into it. But first, a querying update, not the one I wanted to give you. If you don't know, I've been querying my queer space opera for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in May. And at this rate, I am laying kind of the project to bed a little bit. Before I said that I had 2 fulls out and now there's sadly only 1. Talk about that a bit. Basically, I had my heart broken by an agent and I will most certainly not be querying this agent or this agency ever again, even though I had such high potential hopes. Basically what happened was that they ended up sending a form rejection to my full, which was already heartbreaking enough, but they said in the form that, you know, they assured me that they had read the whole thing and decided not to go forward. So tell me why. On Query Tracker, I see they rejected 10 manuscripts in the same day and gave them all the same form rejection. Yeah, they did not read anything. And I was looking at their stats and they seem to be an agent who requests a lot of material and ends up almost never reading any of it. So really got my hopes up for absolutely no reason and I have been very sad about it. But I still do have at least 1 full still out there, so my hopes are still about here, clinging on to a thread. I did query the rest of my agents on the list, so there were still about 15 of them left. I queried the rest of them, and so now is the waiting game to see if I get any other requests. Please, please, writing gods, please. Now on to happier things. But how's your querying been going? If you've been querying, please let me know down below. Hopefully you're having a better time than I am. When it comes to my spicy Viking book, which I have titled Between the Shadows and the Dawn, book 1 of the Divided Gods series, I have been fully plotting all of the concepts within the book. I came up with the most juicy freaking backstory for the love interest, and I am obsessed with it. It's absolutely gonna break hearts. I'm so excited for it. I'm excited to break hearts. That's so nice to say. I apologize in advance. But with this book, I was really struggling with the beginning of it, to be honest with you. I had wrote about 10-20k, I think, of it. I'd gotten into about like chapter 4. 10 to 20k, 4 chapters. That seems like a lot, but I don't remember. I got in about that much and I just wrote myself into a corner. It didn't make sense. I didn't like the direction that I was going in, so I just decided to start over again and kind of throw out all those words, which for me really sucks because I know I'm going to finish a book when I hit 30k. So I was really close to that and I was really pushing for that, but I was just like, you know what? It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. I need to just start over again in a different direction. So I ended up instead writing a really amazing prologue that I'm very happy with. It definitely foreshadows a lot of the book, and it just lends credence to the fact that this book is the most unqueryable thing I've ever written. It's a prologue people publishing and agents don't like. It's got elves publishing hates. It's got spice. This is struggle to sell in the traditional space, and that's why I'm planning on doing something completely different, which we'll talk about later in the video. So I was kind of jumping around a little bit. I wrote a scene that was deeper into the story that was stuck in my head. It was one of the original scenes that came to me for this book. I'll probably end up writing it later, but it was great to just keep writing something along in this story since I have had such a hard time with Spaceborne and letting it go for the past almost 7 years. It has been 7 years, actually, not almost. It's been 7 years since I started writing the book. So it's nice that I'm now newly obsessed with a brand new project and that is working out so much better for me. So I'm now working on chapter 1 of the book and I've been writing this week like almost every single day. So I think every single day since like Tuesday. So I'm very excited about having that development happening because I fucking struggled. Like, it was like pulling teeth to get words down in this book for a while, and I thought it's just because my brain still wanted to be in the universe of Spaceborne, which granted, it still does. I love that universe, but definitely love writing fantasy, and I've been loving playing with these characters in my head, so just putting them on paper has been difficult. But now that I'm in this new direction, it just feels like I'm fitting into the flow again, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I know I'll eventually get stuck again, but for right now I'm riding this high. The characters are also starting to get way more fully formed in my head, and the voice of the main character is coming to me a lot better. I think going from Spaceborne, which was first person, to this one third person has messed me up just a little bit, and I was struggling to get into the main character Adelaide's head. But now that I've written the prologue and sort of seen some of her backstory, I feel like I understand her as a character a bit better. So when I wrote the first chapter from her closer perspective, still in third person, but just closer than the prologue was, it just felt so much better and cleaner, like I understood her more as a person. I might have to do a prologue as well from the love interest point of view, since it is dual POV, to get into his head a little bit better of his backstory, but for right now it just doesn't feel like it is needed. So if I get stuck again, I'll probably write that. Might not be included in the book, it might just be for my use, but we shall see. And then when I tell you the slow burn is going to burn in this book, I am so freaking excited for it. They haven't even met yet. Like in the old draft I had, they had met, and I feel like it happened too soon. There wasn't enough build up and it was bleh. So this new one, I'm very much excited to have them meet in a way that I feel like is better. I had an old way that they met in the old version of the first draft that I barely got into. I think that I'm going to need a different way for it to happen. So I'm still brainstorming that, and that's going to come up soon, so I don't want to get stuck. So I'll have to figure that out soon. By the way, if you want to learn how to write a slow burn romance, I do have a video I'll link in the cards and at the end screen all about how to write one for yourself. So now let's get into what my plans are for this book, because boy, I have so much stuff I haven't been telling you. And I know you're like, wow, you have so much plans and you've only gotten like 5k into this book. Listen, I was like at 20k and then I had to start over. Give me a break, okay? It's much cleaner. You guys are gonna appreciate it later. But yes, my plans. I'm hoping to have this book fully drafted, and I'm doing more of a clean draft, which is why it's taking a little bit longer overall. So because it's clean drafted, hopefully that means that I will be able to do betas this summer. Guys, I have missed having betas for so long. I made a writer friend on TikTok and I sent her the book. We're supposed to talk about it. I sent her Spaceborne a little bit ago and we're supposed to talk about it sometime soon to kind of go over it, but I've like missed being able to talk to somebody about my books and getting people's live reactions to things and also their opinions. Like so many people when I was creating Spaceborne had so many opinions that just changed the book so much for the better. And granted, I did get too many betas and I listened to too many people, so this will be definitely a way more selected group that I have previously had. So I don't know whether or not I'll be opening up publicly or not, or whether or not I'll just be selecting people who've already shown interest, but make sure obviously to subscribe and follow me on social medias everywhere. That I have them everywhere, especially like TikTok and Twitter, because those are the main places that people have shown a lot of interest over the book. So subscribe here, follow on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, not Instagram. Well, I mean, yeah, throw in Instagram too. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, because I'm trying to be better at posting on Instagram and I'm always on TikTok and Twitter. So make sure to follow all of those because I'm going to probably have to close beta round for this very, very quickly. If you guys haven't seen my TikToks, several of them have blown up about the Viking book and a lot of people have already offered to be betas over there. So I'm going to have to be very careful with who I select for this round. But look forward to it this summer. I am going to be most likely moving around like April, May time. So that'll probably push back it to like late summer potentially. And again, it also completely depends upon when and if I get this first draft done. Next is that I plan on releasing this book in a non-traditional and also a non-self-publishing manner. Kind of like a nice, safe in-between. I don't have any plans really to self-publish this book. My friend was trying to tell me like, oh, query it anyways, and I might, but I don't think it's really going to get picked up because again, it is extremely unfriendly to the traditional publishing scene and I don't want it to die on some chopping block. I would rather have people still be able to read it. And so I've been kind of at a crossroads where I'm like, well, do I want to self-publish? Because once you self-publish and if your book doesn't sell well, it hurts your chances of traditionally publishing. But if you traditional publish, then you might be too caught up in that to self-publish. And I've always kind of known I wanted to do some hybrid stuff. I just financially couldn't do the hybrid option of self-publishing for a very long time. Now self-publishing is more of a potential reality for me than ever before. I'm making a whole lot more money, I have a way better job, and also that's all thanks to you guys from back in the day who helped me with my GoFundMe. Like, I still fucking love you guys. Like, I'll do probably a whole video like when we start moving out of this place about all of that, but for now, just sending you my love. So I've been struggling whether or not I can self-publish. Should I self-publish Spaceborne? Kind of what is the decision that I'm making here? When it comes to Spaceborne, if it does die in the query trenches and no one picks it up, then I'll definitely be self-publishing it in the future if a future agent of mine does not want to pick it up. I've also kind of just made a deal with myself that I'm going to give myself either 1 or 2 more books to try querying before I just go full in on self-publishing. So that means after this Viking book, I will be writing my most traditional publishing friendly stories. That would be my Highland Dreams whip and my very secret whip. That's hashtag is actually a spoiler for the book. So I'm not sharing that one with everyone because I feel like someone's going to steal my idea. So I'm very excited for that one though. So those are probably gonna be the 2 next books I write after the Viking one. And so those will have their own writing series. I will probably publicly be talking about the process of writing the Highland Dreams whip, which is a like Scottish tangled mix together with a little bit of flavor from like Dragony Georgians, versus the one that I'm keeping on the back burner to myself, not telling anyone else about. I'll probably be working on those at the same time because I want to still share my process with people, but I also don't want to have my ideas stolen. So I'm keeping that one really close to the chest and not telling people about it, including you guys. So I probably will still film some updates about it, but they'll probably be really vague, not really talk about character or plot. I'm just keeping it right here close to the chest because I'm really afraid of that one getting stolen. And I know it's gonna take me a bit to get to it. So future publishing plans is to write those 2 books, query them, see what happens. If neither one of them gets picked up, then okay. Or if like I still have one full out, I could still get an agent for Spaceborne, who knows? And then obviously they would help me pick what book to work on next. But regardless of if I get an agent now or if it's later and other projects, I still want you guys to be able to read something. I have been dying to be able to share my stories with you guys, and obviously I don't want to self-publish and ruin my chances of traditional publishing. And financially, traditional, like self-publishing hasn't really been an option for me for the majority of my life. So my happy medium option came to me. And that is why I will be releasing my spicy Viking novel Between the Shadows of the Dawn, hopefully this year or start of next year, on Patreon as a serial. Everything on my Patreon is going to be, and kind of already is, revolving around this Viking novel. My patrons have already chosen the name of the novel as Between the Shadows of the Dawn. They also chose the series title of The Divided Gods. And I'll even have options for people to insert themselves into the story or to name characters. And that'll be accessed at the lowest tier. So even for just $1, people can go and read the book. It'll be coming out in chapters every single week. And then I'll try to throw in also some special bonus stuff for the holidays as well. They'll see commissions that I have first, be able to decide how the commissions should look. I'm going to try and like commission a cover for it to like help advertise it on Patreon. But just some sort of way for me to give you guys my story with still protecting it behind, you know, a paywall, since writers should get paid for their work. But then also you guys get to interact with it more. Originally I was planning for my Patreon to be more of an interactive story and a like choose your own adventure kind of style, but that idea got stolen by someone else. So no longer doing that option, but I still wanted to give you guys some customization to the story. So yeah, if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon and kind of see what we've done so far and help me build out this story and this world even more, then do click the link below to sign up for the Patreon. Again, you get access to most of the stuff for just $1. And then you'll also be the first ones to see the cover, the character commissioned art. You might become a character in the story. I'll be releasing the first glimpses of the actual book and work in progress on there as well. And also you guys get videos over there first, you get thank yous in the videos, you get a bunch of other good stuff. And I'll probably have a poll up sometime soon as well about what things you guys want to see on there more. So if you want to be foundational in creating the Patreon from the ground up, as well as creating the story from the ground up, then do join us over there. The only thing I can think of that's really going to delay this book coming out this year is going to be at my day job. I am helping my CEO publish his own book this autumn, so it might be a bit much to have my book come out this fall and his book also come out this fall, but I might just promo my book at his book launch and see if that can get me a little bit of help with people signing up. We shall see. But yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to see this world and these characters. If you like anything fantasy, anything Viking, anything that heals from generational trauma, dragons, elves, Norse mythology and paganism, anything at all, I think you'll enjoy this book. In fact, I might give a little teaser on the Patreon as well. That might be up today, so you should probably check it out. It might be up, it might be for free. You never know. This book has really been a breath of fresh air for me ever since having to kind of shelve Spaceborne and kind of get over my obsession with the book for the past 7 years. It's kind of, you could say, put the magic back into writing for me. And if you want to do the same for you, then I recommend my video, How to Put the Magic Back into Writing. And remember to subscribe for videos on how to do the same every Friday. I'll catch you guys next time. So, bye! And remember to follow the Patreon. Thanks, you, bye!